Hey everyone, welcome here. This is Becoming an Expert at Self-Leadership. I'm Maika, a psychologist, and today I want to talk about the cycle of procrastination. When we procrastinate, we usually go through a common pattern of steps. And if you know about these, you can recognize them more easily. And with that increased awareness, you enable yourself to make better choices. The cycle of procrastination can span out over a couple of months, weeks, days, or hours. It starts with a new project or deadline that you've committed to. And when contemplating this new project, you go into it with the best of intentions. I'll start early this time. I know what it's like to procrastinate. I've suffered through it too many times already. This time is going to be different. This time I'm not even only going to start early, I'm going to finish early. Then as time progresses, you think, I've got to start soon. You are hopeful that this time will be different. At the same time, you're getting an inkling that you haven't started yet, and you're sensing that perhaps you are procrastinating again. You hope that the events will unfold differently this time, but the procrastinator doesn't create a plan or take action to initiate this. The procrastinator stops at hoping. In the next phase, the procrastinator starts getting more and more apprehensive and guilty about not having started yet, and soothes themselves by thinking and saying things like, there's still time. It's definitely no longer a question of the ideal beginning, but the procrastinator thinks, it's not too late, there's still time. How hard can it be? How long can it take? I'll manage with the time that I've got. Also, throughout these phases, there is a buildup of distraction. The more you feel pressure building from an approaching deadline and a project that needs to get done, the more urgent and important literally anything else seems. So we start reorganizing desks and cleaning windows. In the next phase, the procrastinator starts getting more and more desperate and starts imagining horror scenarios. What if I don't start at all? What if I don't do this at all? How's that going to ruin my life? The procrastinator feels this ache of regret about not having started and starts chastising themselves for having gotten into this cycle again. At this point, you're having a hard time enjoying yourself at any other activity because the project and the guilt connected to it are following you like a shadow. You hide that you haven't started yet from anyone who might notice. You avoid certain phone calls and people. You create the illusion of progress, although you haven't gotten anything done. You try to seem as busy as possible. And that makes you feel even more guilty and perhaps even ashamed. As the procrastinator's desperation grows, the procrastinator starts doubting themselves and comes to the conclusion that there's something wrong with me. The procrastinator thinks, I must be fundamentally flawed because I keep procrastinating over and over. Others have more willpower and self-control. They can get started on time. Why is it so hard for me? And by the way, it's not that. Procrastinators are not fundamentally flawed. The next stage is the stage where the deadline is just around the corner and the pressure is on. There's a final choice to be made, to do or not to do. It can go two ways now. Either the procrastinator decides that it's way too late and never going to work and drops the project, or the procrastinator buckles down, works on it full speed ahead, and finishes it somehow. And usually this is when procrastinators notice that it wasn't half as bad as they thought it would be. It was much easier and funner to work on this project than they had thought all along. When that stressful experience of having to work so intensely for so long is over, the procrastinator needs a long stretch of time to recover with the fresh memory of how excruciating this cycle of procrastination is. The procrastinator now vows, I will never procrastinate again. But despite their best intentions, procrastinators often stay stuck in this cycle and start over in phase 1 when the next project comes. What are some key points to reflect on and change if you want to get out of this cycle? Number 1, getting out of this cycle does not happen on its own. The only way to get out of this cycle is by working on it step by step. There's no point in waiting to be more organized. Number 2, procrastination is not just a time management issue. It has deep roots in our psyche that need to be identified, understood, and redirected. Procrastination comes from the protector part of ourself that has falsely learned that procrastination is necessary to stay safe and avoid experiencing fear and anxiety. Number 3, procrastinators are not fundamentally flawed. Procrastination is a habit, a pattern of behavior that has ingrained itself into the brain of the procrastinator, and that can be changed just like any other habit. It's not that you're either born as a procrastinator or not. Your life experiences have taught you to procrastinate as a coping mechanism, and it's not all that helpful. And now you can learn to cope in better ways. Number 4, there is hope. I've personally seen lots of procrastinators turn over a new leaf. It's totally possible. It just takes some effort and patience, but it'll save you so much more nerves and energy in the future that it's definitely worth it and something that you will thank yourself for having worked on later. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you got some insights and motivation from it. If you want to dive deeper into understanding procrastination, where it comes from, and how to overcome it and get better at organization and time management, check out my online course called Self-Empowered O'Clock, How to Spend Time the Way You Truly Want to. You'll find the link at the top of the description box. Till next time, take care, and remember, you are not fundamentally flawed.